Hello everyone, I am Mayank Rastogi and I'm currently pursuing my master's in computer science from the University of Illinois at Chicago. I'm taking a course on cloud computing taught by Professor Mark Grechanik, and in this video I'll be talking about one of the homeworks that I'm working on. So this homework is about an application which allows you to play chess with an AI opponent, and it is created in Spring Boot, and I will talk about how to deploy this application in AWS EC2 using the OSV unikernel. I'll leave a link to this project in the description, so let's get started.
So I have my Ubuntu system running inside VMware here, and I've already browsed to the project directory. Inside this directory, you can see that I have OSV base images folder where I have placed some images of OpenJDK that I generated from the OSV source code. I generated these because I was facing some issues with the fonts that were missing in the base images that was provided earlier. So I've just written this install images script which will copy these base images into the capstan repository in my local. So I'll just open a terminal here and I will issue the command to run that script. So we are done here. So I'll just open the terminal here and issue sudo $home bin capstan build. So this will build the capstan images for us. And now I'll do a capstan run and specify that port 8080 of the VM should be forwarded to port 8080 of my local machine. So we have our jar file running now, and now we can go to Postman and check whether this service is running or not. So this is the IP address of my Ubuntu system which is running inside my VMware. So let's just test this. So we've got a response of playing with itself. So let's go back here. Now we can simply shut down this WAP and let's close this. So let's check out what were the files that were created when we issued the capstan build commands. So I'll just browse to my home folder and then capstan. So here you can see there are two folders called instances and repository. So when we issued the run command, it created a KMU instance with our project name, and here you can see the config for this VM and the disk image for it. So in order to deploy it to AWS, we need to convert this disk.qcow2 file to a raw image format. So we will use the KMU img utility to convert this. It seems we need to issue a sudo. So our image.raw file has been created and we can see that it is 268.4 MB. So I'll copy this image into my project directory because I have shared this with my host system, and I will go to my Windows system and browse to this project directory, and I can see this jessimage.raw file. So I'll copy this jessimage.raw file and place it in another folder where I have this JSON image. Now I need to copy this image into my S3 bucket. So I'll go to my browser and I'll log into my AWS console, and I'll go to S3. Let's create a bucket, and I'll name it as com.myoungrestovi.cs441.homework4. Next, next, create bucket, and I'll now create a folder. I'll call it OSV image. I don't want it to be encrypted. And inside this folder, I'll drag my jessimage.raw. And again, I don't need to select anything. Let's go with the default options, upload. So now that the image has been uploaded on S3, we can go ahead and deploy this image on EC2. So to do that, we first need to import this disk as a snapshot, and we will use AWS CLI to import this snapshot onto AWS EC2. And before we can go ahead and use issue this command, just be sure to have the VM import role and policy created. So you just need to follow this 4 steps to create this. I'll leave a link in the description for you to follow this guide and create the role. Once you are done with that, you can go ahead and issue these commands in Amazon using AWS CLI. So let me go to this folder and open my Windows subsystem for Linux. I have my AWS CLI configured here, so I will be using Windows subsystem for Linux to issue these commands. So let's go ahead and use AWS EC2, import snapshot, description is service OSV web, and disk container is file containers.json. So we can see that the response has been received, and we can check the status for whether this has been uploaded or not using the AWS EC2 describe import snapshot. So just type AWS EC2 describe import snapshot tasks, import task IDs, and I'll copy this import task ID from here and paste it here. So the status is active. So let's go ahead and check our EC2 whether this is completed or not. So let's go to snapshot, and we can see that it is still being loaded. So we'll check the status again. here, and the status is still active, and it's saying that it is downloading or converting this image. So let's wait for a while and try it again. And we can see that the status has completed. So we should be able to see this snapshot here, and yes, we can. So now we'll select this and go in actions and create an image. Let's name it as chess OSV wap, and the virtualization type should be hardware assisted virtualization, and the size of this can be 1 GB. We don't need anything more than this. So let's go ahead, and now we can go to the AMIs tab and check what is the status. As we can see, this is already available. So now we can go ahead and create an instance from this. So we'll use the t2.micro type and go to configuration. We don't need to change anything here. Let's add storage. 1 GB is enough. Tags. Let's just tag it as chess OSV app and configure security group. So I had already created a chess OSV app security group, and what this basically says is that I should define a custom TCP rule which will allow port 8080 to be accessed on this machine from my IP. And if you don't have the security group created already, you can go ahead and use the create new security group option and add this custom TCP rule, then review and launch. So I will use an existing key pair that I already have, although we won't need this. And now let's monitor. So we can see that the instance has been launched, and now we should be able to access this machine using the public IP. Let's copy this, and I'll open Postman again, and I'll test whether this thing works. So we got a response from this. So basically it means that our WAP is up and running. So this is it for deploying our OSB WAP on the Amazon EC2. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.